here and feeding them. Some guy from the neighborhood.
Big litter box over there.
Not, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Tony's over there talking to him.
He said he may have to use it again. I'm not there yet.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Guthrie Public Schools Board of Education regular monthly meeting for Monday, October 13th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Gerard,
Here.
Husky,
Here.
Plagg,
Here.
Pearson,
Here.
Smedley.
Here.
Madam President, we have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in a moment of silence before our meeting. Thank you. Okay, agenda item number 6, presentation of Employees and Student of the Month recognition.
Mr. Hancock?
President Smedley, member of the board, Dr. Simpson. We had quite a few nominations for students and employees of the month. Our student of the month, though, let me just kind of talk before I show you a picture of her and everything. But she was the one that got them. I mean, it was like almost a unanimous decision, but it came from what she did last year and over the summer. So I'm not going to talk about what she may have been a little bit lower at, but she brought her scores up in that area extreme, like almost doubled from what she started at at the beginning of last year to where she ended. Most people, whenever you're over the summer, you don't keep up with everything, so your scores kind of drop down. Well, that was something that this student didn't let happen. As a matter of fact, her score increased over the summer as well. So Miss Avie at Charter Oak nominated, and Mia Canning was our student of the month. Like I said, it was pretty cool whenever we brought it out. Her mom was there, her father showed up after she received what the foundation insurance gives her. Then they went to use it pretty promptly. So it's really good to see Mia win this award and how excited Miss Avie was to nominate and provide it for her. Next would be our September support employee. She was another one that out of our committee, which we, just so you know, we have a committee from a person from all 7 schools who vote on these, but she had 6 for first place votes, 1 not, but the things that Mr. Stevens had spoken about her and what she's had to do, I mean, let's just be honest, starting off with Coach Chappell takes quite a bit just to get things organized. So it was very well received. And then for our September certified employee, Jaylee Oldenburg at Charter Oak as well. She was nominated by Ms. Carpenter for her position and just the leadership roles that she's taken and how she's active in other parts and uses what she had learned prior to getting into education and continues that in her classroom process as well. So those will be our students and our employees of the month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item number 7, comments to the board by citizens registered to speak.
We have none.
Comments to the board by board members? No? Okay. Agenda item number 8, superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President. This Wednesday signals the end of the first 9 weeks of school, and fall break is Thursday and Friday. Parent-teacher conferences are next Monday and Thursday, and also a reminder that next Monday is also a professional day before conferences begin. Our October 1st student count was 3,493, which is up 4 students from last year at that time. That's kind of, you guys know, that's kind of gone back and forth over the last few months, and that's where it ended and the October 1 count is the one that counts for the funding. The Lady Jays volleyball team is playing in the regional tournament at Oklahoma Christian School as we speak. Their match with El Reno began at 6 p.m. The Lady Jays softball team was crowned the regional champion and qualified for the state tournament for the 5th straight year, and the softball team will play Pryor at 10 a.m. on Thursday at the Hall of Fame Stadium, field number 2 in Oklahoma City. That's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Simpson. Agenda item number 9, Crossland construction update. Lane?
Thank you, guys. I have a pretty quick update. You know, we're done with Cotterell, so got that all closed out a couple months ago. And then Charter Oak, we have finished construction and got occupancy at Charter Oak.
Cool.
And we're working, we did punch walk last Thursday, and we're working on those items and getting ready to move in. So
Very nice.
that's kind of my update.
Wow.
Yes, do you guys have any questions about any of that?
Cody, we moved in?
Yes, we are.
Goodness.
What I thought I got an email, yeah.
Thanks for the approval this morning.
Okay.
Wow.
Good deal.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Nice.
Yes.
Good job. Thank you.
Thanks, Lane.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lane.
Okay, agenda item number 10, consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11A, recommendation, consideration, and action upon new district policy A4, discrimination, harassment, and retaliation.
These 3 policies that we have tonight in this item and then the 2 that follow it are new policies that upon review and based on the recommendations of our attorney, we had a first reading last month and would recommend your approval this month on A4 and then the others. And if there are any questions on any of these, I'll be glad to answer them.
Madam President, I move we approve the new district policy A4.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11B, recommendation, consideration, and action upon new district policy D52, Pregnant Workers Fairness Act.
This, we had some of this covered in some other areas, but the attorneys recommended an entirely new policy to make sure that we cover all of the things that are required with the Family Medical Leave Act. Recommend approval.
Madam President, I move that we approve the new district policy D52.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson, Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11C, recommendation, consideration, and action upon new district policy G16, Flag Protocol.
As I told the board last month, what the practice that is contained in policy G16 has been followed by the district for as long as I've been here, and I think probably since statehood. But nevertheless, the State Board of Education passed an administrative code requiring us to have a policy for this, so that it is in policy, and so in order to be in compliance, and this is an item that our accreditation officer will be checking, and so I would recommend approval.
Madam President, I move that we approve G16 flag protocol policy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Huskey,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11D, discussion and possible action regarding the 2025-2026 operating school budget.
I believe this will be Dr. Chappell with a presentation here.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Madam President, board members, Dr. Simpson, and those assembled. I am happy to present our 2025-2026 operating budget. Now, I must admit, going into year 9, I have found a typo in my budget book. So you know I was very sad to see it. But if you would open your budget book to page 3. I don't think we have actual student counts in year 1043 yet. So the next to the last column should be 1024 instead of 1043 on that date. At the very top, page 3. And the historical enrollment summary.
Oh, goodness, yep.
Yeah. And the second one is on page 6. We're in October, but I don't know if I thought we were in October 24th, 25, but I'm gonna go 25. And I'm blaming this on someone, I'm not calling their name, but they had me doing other duties assigned last week. So I relied on spell check, and spell check didn't check these numbers for me. So, there we have it. Okay, I'll get started with the budget overview as I do each year and give a summary for those who are new to our district. But we have our operating budget structure, and we know that our budget is considered an estimate of needs that is provided to us by our auditors, S&B CPAs and Associates. And once they provide that to us, we do send this down to the Logan County Excise Board to be approved. And with that, we have 4 funding sources for the district. They include our ad valorem collections each year, and our auditors normally estimate that those collections will be between 90 and 96%. We have our local dollars, which are mortgage tax collections and our county poor meal. We have state aid that is based on our student counts, and this funding helps us also supplement for our insurance costs for district employees, as well as other funding. And then we have our federal revenue, which we know is reimbursed once we spend those dollars. Our funding purposes and limitations. We have 8 funds that the district operates with. We have our general fund, and so those who do not know, the general fund's basic purpose is to support payroll, our transportation expense, our supplies, materials, furniture, equipment, textbooks, general operating expenses. Then we have our building fund. That is to repair and have maintenance of our facilities district-wide, as well as furniture, equipment, and utilities. We also operate our child nutrition fund, which is for food for our students, sometimes staff, and payroll, supplies, and equipment. We have our bond fund, which is used for construction projects, furniture, equipment, uniform, textbooks, school buses, etc. We have activity funds, which support our student activities, supplies, materials, equipment, refreshments. We have our sinking fund, which is our bond principal and interest payments for bond sales that we acquired during the year. And then we have our gift fund. We use this fund for our donations and grants that are given to the district. And finally, we have an insurance fund, and of course that is reimbursed for property and equipment damages. Our guiding rule is from the State Department of Education on these funds, which means that we cannot carry over more than 3 months of income at a time, or revenue at a time in our general fund. And so just so that you know that GPS operates, and we typically keep a month and a half in our carry forward. The statutory limit is 14%, and of course our board policy is to keep 12% in our coffers. So we aim for 10 to 12 every year. With that, we have an analysis of our fund balance carryover that I will discuss in detail going forward. But since FY21, just want to note that we have been trending with the board policy, stand in line between 10 and 11% consistently, and so we are managing our expenses conservatively. Building and Child Nutrition Fund analysis, I will get into that in more detail. So with that, let's go to the estimate of needs on page 3 in your slideshow packet in front of you that has been issued to us by S&B CPA and Associates. So this year, they have estimated a budget of $34.8 million for the general fund, and this is an increase of $1.78 million from last year. And as you can see there, 3.721 is the carry forward we're bringing from FY25. The next line is the miscellaneous revenue estimates of $22.8 million. Just to go in the first column, that includes all title funds that have been allocated to the district from the state. It also includes state aid, flex benefits, textbook funds, those categories in that line item. And then we have our ad valorem tax estimate of $8.2 million. And so here, this is where I'll say that our auditor always is very conservative, and they only estimate 90%. We know that the sweet spot for the district is around 95 to 96%, but here they are giving us 90% of our NAV for FY26. And so this proposed budget, we have to not exceed what they have appropriated to us and what has been approved by the excise board. And so that is the budget amount or the revenue they are allocating for the general fund. And the building fund, same thing, 90% of ad valorem tax estimates. And so we have $2.3 million for the building fund, slightly down from last year, just by $40,000. And then child nutrition fund, $2.429 million versus $2.443, just down $13,000. Again, most of the child nutrition is federally reimbursed, we know, as we submit claims for that. And then school age child care, we're happy to report that we have reactivated this fund for this year going forward. So $75,619 remains the same as last year and this year going forward. And so with that, the last item on this page is our sinking fund millage levy at 19.42 versus 17.91. And so if you're new to this and you want to know how do we get to 19.42, we did have an increase, a very hefty increase in our net assessed valuation this year. And so what the auditor does is take the net assessed valuation and they determine what is the tax required to support this $253 million. And once they do that, they divide that by the $253 million and you get 19.42 as your millage. Now, we have promised with our 2024 bond election that we would not go over 20 mills, and so we are happy that we are still in line at 19.42 going forward for this year. Our revenue sources that I just discussed by category are on the next slide. These are okay, so this is a pie chart showing us the 4 sources of revenue that I just discussed. We see state sources in blue, local orange, federal green, and county sources yellow. The only difference from the ending of 24-25 going into 2026 is that we can see that we will receive less in our federal sources. And we know that because CARES Act funds have been depleted, and we're done with all of that. And so we're just going down 2%, and we will take that 2% up in our local revenues, which of course we control those through our NAV assessment. So that is the difference between those two fives. Yes.
What's the difference in local and county?
What is the difference between local and county? Well, let's just make it easy. County, is the 4 meal and mortgage tax.
Okay.
Those two. And the other one is ad valorem.
Okay.
Okay. Now, revenue sources by category, and we're just looking at this from another angle. What's special about this graph here is that if you're looking at every column, we should be going down the steps or going up the steps, however you walk up steps. But they should be increasing by each column. And the only one we see that isn't is the third column, which is federal sources. And that is because we see that over the period of 23, 24, and 25, we know that the federal revenues have gone down, as we just saw. And so these are actual dollars that we are discussing, and it's good to see that over the course of the year that all of the revenue sources are increasing. Let's talk about our budget summary specifically for the general fund, as this is the largest operating fund for the district. So as of June 30th, 2025, our fund balance held a 12% balance at $3.721 million. This is an increase from FY 25-24 year of $366,495. This is a great thing for the district because we know that when we have these fund balances, that allows us to have more capability for our bond ratings. We show that we are steadily increasing our balance at the end of the year. We need to at least break even or have a fund balance carryover, which is a great thing. This also allows us to have more funding for our teaching positions, which the district gives a step increase every year. So I remind everyone that is already calculated into our annual budget. And the great thing about this year, having a little cushion going forward, in this school year, we have already been able to secure 3 more paraprofessionals and 2 bus monitors. And we've also added our new child nutrition director along with 2 assistants for that project over there. And then another thing that the district has done that is great is we transitioned to our outsourced substitute employment services with ESS. So we have used this money very wisely going forward, as we would like to do every year. And with that, that takes me to our initial state aid revenue for 2025-2026. Now, it is less than we received actually collected in 24-25, but only about $22,000. And the reason why is because they use our weighted average daily membership for our initial calculations from FY25. So what we ended with is what we start with until we get our numbers for our October 1 count going forward for this year. And so you remember last year, the rules changed, and so we will take the highest of the 2 years of our weighted average daily membership, and that will calculate our midterm adjustment. And so the midterm adjustment is that in January, the State Department of Education will come back and they will give us a new funding amount to carry out the rest of the year based on our student count that was turned in October 1, based on the factors overall for the state of Oklahoma, the weighted ADM, and of course other things are considered in this time, as well as inflation. Right now inflation is trending at 5%, and last year at this time it was at 2.5%. So those are things that are being considered until we get to our January timeline with state aid. Our next item is our midterm allocations. I'm saying in December because we get the notice in December, but the money is received in January. It is expected to increase in revenue with chargeables accounted for due to growth in ad valorem tax and state aid factor. And I'm speaking here about the state as a whole. I had a meeting or a Zoom, if you will, with our coastal friends last week, as I do every year before I present to you guys, to see where we are or what they're thinking about the state factors. And they do think, and of course it's an estimate, as they always say, that is their disclaimer, but they do think that the factor will go up by $63 in January. And so with that, the factor will, be increased because there's growth in the state. Now, how does this affect us? Now, we know that our NAV grew, as I just mentioned, 22 million for FY26. And so our state aid will be affected by this because we'll have more local money. We'll have a charge against our state aid. But the offset and where the gap will be filled is if our district weighted ADM increases. They're going to take the highest of the 2 years, of course. And then they have to take the student count plus our weight by each student count. That determines what our dollar amount will be to close in that gap. So we'll wait and see what happens, but that is a good thing for us to have more local control of our dollars, of course. The last section on this slide is the increased net assessed valuation NAV of property in FY25 resulted in additional, this is the largest ever, at least since I've been here, and I think since Dr. Simpson has been here as well, in additional growth of 9.68%. We have been trending for 8% for 2 years in a row, and then we went 9.1. I'll get to the slide, but 9.68 is the best, and so we know that our district is growing very rapidly, and so we'll be penalized again by our state aid, but the offset with the state factors will help us. And so when the NAV increases, it not only helps the general fund, it also helps the building fund, as we know, because their ad valorem collections go up as well, and this increases our bonding capacity. We're able to bond at 10% of our total net assessed valuation, and so we know if it's at 253 million, where we're at 10%. Let's talk about our net assessed valuation analysis. So we'd like to do a trend of 5 years just so we can see how we are growing. If you did not know, we are the 4th largest county in the state of Oklahoma for the fastest growth in our population. Population right now is 55,239 here in Logan County. That, as you can see over the graph, starting with FY22, that growth right there was at 5.3%. 23 was at 9.10, 24, 9.13, 25, 8%, and now we are here at 9.68% in our growth. I like to break down the general fund revenue analysis. I am on page 8 at this time. And so this is a look at what happened with projected and actual over a 3-year period. And so we can see in the first column that our revenue sources, what actually happened at the end of fiscal year 24, and then 25, and what is projected for 26. And I'm really just going to focus on what happened in the last year for FY25 in our revenues. As you can see, I have highlighted in yellow the things that were amazing to us that transpired. And as you can see on the ad valorem, the very first line, that we had a projection of 7.2 million as we held steady each year. And it came in at 7.9 for revenues. That is almost double the amount that it was at the end of year 24 at $333,000 increase. So that is exciting as we have learned. Then we have interest earnings that were increased by $47,000 this year. I'm just going down briefly on the yellow highlighted items. Reimbursements, we estimated or forecasted $65,000. We were graciously awarded some grants during the year. We received a Gear Up grant. We also had an SRO grant, and we had some funds left over for the opioid funds grant. And so with that, we came in at $209,000 more than was forecasted. We move down into our immediate sources, our county core meal ad valorem there, 164,000 more. We estimated or forecasted 875. And that's really something totally out of our control, because as we know, the county core meal is the millage that is assessed on the entire county total property value. And so then the county treasurer does the math on that with the 4 mills, and they distribute a monthly check to the district. So of course that is just like net assessed valuation. We don't know what that number is going to be, so we just try to get as close as we can. And so as you see, we have always forecasted it in that range of 850 or 875, and it has come in more, but you know, we've moved it up for FY26 to 900,000. As we see over the last 2 or 3 years, it has come in over 900,000. So we're comfortable with moving that up. Our next line is the county apportionment and miscellaneous intermediate. That is the mortgage tax for the county. So you can see last year, remember I discussed that collections were coming in very slow. We were receiving payments late in the county, but they made up for that at the end of FY25, and so we're to the good, 114,000 for mortgage collections. And so if we turn to the next slide, we'll continue in yellow, gross production tax. And this is something that we discussed last year. We knew at the end of 24, it was already down 52%, as you can see on the chart there. 825 was projected in FY24 and only collected 480. And so we took that into account, and so for FY25, we said, okay, we're just going to forecast 500,000. And lo and behold, we didn't even get to that either. It was still down 13% at the end of FY25. And so we are going to still hold, once again, one more year at 500,000, and hopefully that collection will come through on the money. Motor vehicle collection. We see there up 2% at 29,000. We were good right there. Our state school land earnings, the same situation with that. That's out of our hands or control, but we did receive 92,000 more than forecasted. And then the last 2 yellow items in this category is our flex benefit allowance. That is the state aid that helps us with our district employee insurance. They reimburse us for that, and so that was an increase of 141,000, which is great. As we're increasing our staff count, we're getting reimbursed for their insurance. And then the big ticket item here, as always, is the foundation and salary incentive. And so we estimated 12.8, we received 13.147, so 347,000 more. And again, that is based on our growth. And that is the number that I just spoke of that will be affected, that we will learn of in December, but receive the money in January. So we are holding steady at 12.8 as our forecast for state aid for this year. So if we turn to our next page, which is slide 10, at the very bottom, you see that we have actually collected $35,645,000, and that is 1.7 million more than the projected. And I just explained all of the exciting dollars that came in that make up that 1.7, with the heavy hitters of ad valorem collections of 729,000, interest earnings of almost 50,000, reimbursements of almost 200,000. And so when we add all of those up, that is the brunt of what makes up that difference of 1.79 million. And so for FY26, we are projecting our revenue to be $34,822, with expenses of $31,338, and that will leave us a carry forward balance of $3,483,000, which is right in the range, around 10% carry forward. Our next slide is our general fund fixed and discretionary costs. And so I'm breaking down what I just discussed, that our budget expenses for the year will be the 31,338,000. And so you can see here on the actual column for 2025 versus what we're projecting for 2026. And so I just want to remind everyone that the big ticket item of expenses for the district is always our salaries and benefits. And so last year, you can see there that the percentage was 82.23 of our overall expenses, and we are projecting 83.76 for the coming year. The other expenses there are kind of in line, $250,000 for professional and technical services. Utilities right around the same range at $900,000. Insurance, we know already went up to $810,000, and so that is 2.58% of our expenditures. And on down, all the way down to $29,199,000 was the actual last year, and we are estimating $29,279,000. So just a little increase there, and that increase basically is for our salaries and benefits. And so what is fixed, things that we cannot control, is this category right here, 93% of our budget. But what can we control? And that is on the next slide, and that is our discretionary funds. And so you can see, comparing last year to this year, we do have control over our site costs, our textbooks, our library, furniture, and supplies. 608 was the expense for last year, so we're estimating 600,000 there as well for FY26. And then we have our departmental costs, transportation maintenance. 2.136 million was the expense for FY25. We're estimating 1.468 for this year coming in. And the reason why is because this category is where our ESSER funds and other CARES Act and other expenditures were in this line item, and we know that we're receiving less money for that this year. And so we are budgeting conservatively, and so that line item goes down to 4.69% of total expenditures versus 6.69 last year. And so if you're looking at it all together, there's 100% total there for the expenditures. We did spend $31,944,000 in expenses last year, and we are budgeting for $31,338,000 for FY26. Now, we did have a budget forecasted for last year coming into FY25, and it's $30,450,000. But as you see, we spent $31,944,000. And how were we able to do that? So when we get our midterm adjustment in January, we're able to adjust our budget at that time. If anyone is wondering, so yes, we did spend $1.4 million more in expenses, but we received $1.7 million more in revenue, as I did explain. So we're here now on slide 13, general fund expenditure analysis. And we look at this for 7 years. And you can see that, yes, it has increased by year, as it should, as we are always hiring new staff and having additional expenditures. And so what I want to bring to light here, at the end of FY25, not only did we receive that extra funding, we took advantage of that extra funding because we always have a PPM schedule, preventive maintenance, and a wish list. And so if there is one-time money that we can get those items off of our list that need to be replaced, not necessarily once, but needs, then we sit and we strategize and we do that. And so we're happy to report, because you will see around town that the district does have new vehicles, and so we want you to know that we're very careful in using that money. And so we did purchase 2 new buses. We were able to get some 2011 and 12 fleet off of the books with 2 new buses for this year. We actually bought an ag truck, and we had some additional expeditions as well. So that is a good thing that we're able to do that, and sometimes the rotation may be roof repairs or HVAC systems, but this year, going down the list of things that needed to have attention taken care of, those were the items for this year. Here we have our general fund analysis on the carryover, again, just 7 years, just like we have for our expenses. And as I mentioned, we're normally steady all across the board there. We dipped in FY22. I think you guys can remember I was sad when I reported we had a federal claim that did not get through the door that year of 300 and some thousand. That is the only reason why we dipped in FY22. But other than that, we've been consistent across the board at 11, 10, 10%, and now ending with 12% in FY25. General fund by expenditures. So the money that we plan to expend, again, that $31,338,000. We like to show you the functions by OCAS coding of how the money is going to be spent. And again, always the line item 1,000 for instruction is the highest expenditure for the district at 18.5. And the second category, of course, is always operations and maintenance of plant at 4.2 million. And the other categories you can see fall in line. They're pretty consistent with what we had for FY25 as well, as we know that our expenditures are not going up as much per function. And then I'd like to show you a picture of that, just in case the numbers don't resonate with you. Here is a pie graph that is outlining the same numbers that we just saw on slide 15. Instruction is 59% of the expenditures by function, and again, you can see 14% is the next line item there for maintenance. And there are all of the categories outlined by color. So we've talked enough about the general fund, so let's talk about the building fund just for a moment. So exciting.
The audience is asleep.
So the building fund, as we know, is an expense fund for repairs throughout the district, and our capital expenditures to include our red bud funds. So I explained last year what red bud funds are, and these are funds that the State Department of Education has allocated to districts and charter schools to improve their buildings, repairs, and equipment. And how did Guthrie get so lucky to get on this, on their plan? You're wondering. Well, they take all districts and charters who are below the state average in their local property taxes and their county formula per student to receive funding out of the red bud fund. And so we did qualify for that when they used their equalized formula. And so last year, the building fund, we received approximately $706,000 revenue for that. And so we are forecasting the same for this year, as you saw in the estimate of needs on page 2. But funds are derived from proceeds of the 5 mills, actually 5.12, building levy, along with the prior year carry forward, as we saw on the first page of the estimate of needs. So the auditors at this time have estimated that the collections to operate the building fund will be $1.177 million in ad valorem collections. Again, that's just 90% of what normally comes through the door. But their actual budget for this year for the building fund is $2.3 million, and they actually spent $2,028,000 last year. So we should be good to go with that without any concerns. FY25-26 carry forward revenue is in the building fund $426,543. This is a decrease in approximately $143,999 from year-end 25. And why did we go down? Because we should always try to go up, but we were really excited, just like with the general fund, to have those extra funds, one-time funds that we could spend. In the same way we treated the general fund, we looked at things that we needed to support our staff and students, and what do we do with those funds to be most valuable. So we did have some bus radios installed on our buses. As you all know, we did purchase property on Cleveland and Springer, and I hope everyone has been to a football game so far this year and has seen our new lighting on the football field. We're so excited about the blue lights, and so we've done that. And we also did our baseball complex. We put a new roof on there. And so we have used the funds wisely in the builder fund, just as we have in the general fund. Let's look at the builder fund carryover analysis. As I was just saying, we only get down this year because we used the one-time funding, but been pretty consistent over the years 2021, 22, 23, 4, as you can see there. And I'm pretty sure we will do our best to bring that fund balance carryover back up at the end of fiscal year 26. And last but not least, Child Nutrition Fund carryover analysis. We look at them for 5 years. We do know that our child nutrition program is managed by a food service management company, but we are happy to report that we have been solid in FY 24 and 25 with our carryover balances, as you can see there. And we do operate the Child Nutrition Fund. Last year, it took $1.7 million to operate the Child Nutrition Fund for the year. And even with that, we were able to still secure a solid carryover for this school year. And so with that, that is the end of my presentation. And I thank everyone for listening. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
That was wonderful, thank you.
Good job, thank you.
thank you.
This requires action,
Yeah,
yes.
we'll need a motion.
Madam President, I move that we accept the 2025-2026 operating school budget.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11E, recommendation, consideration, and action to adopt calendar of regularly scheduled school board meetings for 2026.
This is on page 140 of your board packet, and we didn't have any conflicts this year. And we can, if a conflict arises and we have enough notice, we can change that, or we can always do a special if we need to on these. So recommend approval.
Madam President, I move that we adopt the calendar of regularly scheduled school board meetings for 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11F, discussion and possible board action to approve the 2025 school election resolution.
This is an annual item that we bring to you. The seats that are up for this year, since all of ours are 4-year terms, is seat 3, which is Ms. Pearson, and seat 4, which is Mr. Gerard.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the 2025 school election resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Clag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11G, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approved list of communication apps.
Page 143 shows the changes that we're requesting to make. These two, you'll remember that we took a couple off. They were duplicative of other apps that were on there, and you could do them in different things. I can assure you these are not, and that's why we want to add them to this list. There's not anything on there that can do what we're talking about at the level that these apps and that we have contracts with can perform. So recommend approval.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the approved list of communication apps.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So what are they?
Aristotle is, that's the one that teachers can see what's on the kids' screens that are in their classroom. And then eCadence is, I think we talked about it's a little bit like Google Classroom, but it also has a lot more use of AI and is a lot more interactive with the students. And the eCadence was something because we are a Title I district, we were able to get for very little cost too.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11H, recommendation, consideration, action upon agreement with Terry Dunbar LLC, Special Education Independent Contractor for 2025-2026.
This is on pages 144 to 147 of your board packet. I recommend approval.
Madam President, I move we approve the agreement with Terry Dunbar LLC, Special Education Independent Contractor for 25-26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11I, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with Brightwell Solar for solar energy management for 2025-2026.
I know that the folks from Brightwell have they've come in and gave us a presentation in person for property committee, and then also via it wasn't Zoom, it was Google Meets on this one, but for the other two committees. And they're here tonight to see if we have any other questions and have some discussion as we look forward to potentially approving this agreement.
Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent, board members. My name is Corey Bates. Sorry, I'm getting a really bad echo over here. I'm the Vice President of Design at Brightwell, and I'm here to support the solar project that's being presented. I can walk through the project if anybody would like me to, or I can answer specific questions.
Talk a little more about our ability to purchase early as opposed to the 20-year life before.
Sure. The term for the agreement is set at 20 years, and starting at year 7, the district would have the right to buy out the system. It needs to be held for at least 6 years so that there aren't any clawbacks on the tax incentives, the solar tax incentives that the investor is claiming on the project. So starting year 7, Guthrie would have the right to buy out the system.
Okay, what's the cost to have a determination based upon fair value? I've read the contract we're at the cost on that if we do that.
The cost to determine the value, or just?
Yeah, because you can choose, the third party who can help determine that value.
Yes.
Okay, so is there substantial cost in doing that, or just minimal, or?
It's minimal, if any.
Have you had any other districts that you have been in this situation with that have exercised that right yet?
Not exercised it yet, simply because we haven't gotten to that 7-year mark. But Norman North was very interested in that buyout option, and they plan to do so when they get to that point.
Now, tell us their cost-saving mechanism, since you've been partnered with them. I mean, are we following close to the same guidelines as what you're telling us in our contract that we should be able to receive?
Yes, yeah. The agreement with Guthrie would be extremely similar to that for Norman. Is that?
Yeah, but okay, so far with Norman's The numbers that are coming back, are they pretty much along the plan lines?
Yes, yeah, as far as how the system is producing and what they're seeing on their energy bills, yes. We're very happy with that project.
And I believe the Norman superintendent indicated to me that they are going to go with another phase and add more in their district. I think they're working on that.
Yeah, we're currently looking at multiple buildings for them for what that second project would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Corey, like I talked to you earlier, for the 2 schools that we've been putting on where they're the flat roofs, I totally get that, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with what it's going to look on in the front of Guthrie High School. We've worked so hard to make that school look good, and those panels just look like they could jump out at me.
I do have some other photos I was able to pull up during the meeting. I'm happy to share those as well. We found with some schools and other institutions too that when we do projects on flat roofs and the panels are hidden, the idea of a solar project is also hidden. And so having some panels that are visible actually creates that narrative of what's going on. It engages students. You know, it's more visible of the effort and the project that's going on there. So we take very detailed care with our installations. We are very proud of them. And so the aesthetics and how the array looks is very important. And so happy to share other photos and
So,
go through that.
at Guthrie High School, we have the porch area. Are they going to be on either side of it? I mean, are we on all, is basically everything that's facing west they're going to be on? Is that?
Yeah, there is a large array that goes over the entrance on that west-facing roof. And then there are additional arrays on the south-facing roofs that would be to the left if you're looking at the entrance.
All of them are facing west. We don't have any facing south.
So if you're facing the entrance,
Okay,
the west-facing, you've got an array there, and then there's a portion of the building that
It's south.
comes out, and these roofs are south-facing.
Okay, so there will be south too.
Yeah.
And they're all dark? There's not any white there, or
They are.
they're going to blend into the roof?
I had one school that came and looked at the project this last week, and they're very impressed with how low profile they were. And
Yes, the installation of the panels has the top of the panel about 6 inches off of the surface of the roof. So as Matt was saying, the arrays are very low profile, and they do blend well with the roof.
It looks like there's white stripes along the whole thing.
Well, I think that's just the look of the solar panel.
Yeah, that's the frame.
Yeah.
And how visible is that from the ground level?
At the high school,
It's gonna
it
be
will
very
it will
visible.
No, I mean, I'm talking about the framing of the panels.
Oh, I mean, you'll see the grid,
Mhm.
and then, but yet the further you go away, the more that
Is that aluminum framing that can be painted?
technically, yes, but we would not advise to painting it, simply from a maintenance standpoint, as well as the risk of getting paint on the glass that would impede light from hitting the cells.
How big of a grid area? I mean, diameter, size-wise? Do you have any projections you can give on that high school?
Yes. So I'm going to pass this around as well with a caveat that this is for space and allocation only. And so the arrays themselves would be symmetrical and rectangular, like that first image that went through. But that gives you a general idea of location on the high school.
Would you maybe explain to us what happens with a hailstorm or a roof replacement?
Sure. So with a hailstorm, the panels are rated for 55 miles an hour up to 55 miles an hour at a 90-degree impact. So they are very resilient to hail. And if you have hail that is damaging solar panels, you have a damaged roof as well. And so any kind of replacement for that, for the solar system would be part of a roof insurance, a larger insurance claim that includes the roof as well.
So if the roof needs replaced, the district's not paying for the removal?
No.
And then you put them back on as well?
Panels are actually much stronger than the roofs.
Thank you.
Do you have a number of how many schools you're partnering with right now?
Dozens?
Bunches.
Dozens.
Okay.
In the state of Oklahoma?
It's happening every day.
Yep.
Okay.
Our agreement has been reviewed by the
Center of Law.
Center of Law.
And there's a.
RFR, yeah.
Yep.
This agreement that you have, there were a couple of suggestions that Mr. Nelson had from RFR, and they've included those in there too. So it has been vetted by our attorneys.
So having the agreement vetted has really opened up our relationships with other school districts in the state.
I don't know where you're getting that, but
It's going right back out.
okay.
Tell me a little bit about Bragwell. Like, how long have you guys been in business?
Yeah.
What is your, long-term goals for your company? I mean, all these things, because we're getting ready to enter into a long-term agreement. So I want to make sure that you're a stable company that, is going to be there in 20 years when we are still
Of course. Yeah.
working with you.
So a little background, we started a solar engineering, procurement, and construction company about 6 years ago called 820. And that's who would be doing the installation of this project for you all. It is headquartered in Oklahoma City. We do have a second location outside of Louisville. That's where our president is, our CEO and co-founder is here in Oklahoma City. The two of them ran a Fortune 500 company prior to starting 820. And then we started in residential, transitioned to commercial, and started looking at nonprofit projects because, we are on boards ourselves, so we have relationships with people that are connected to nonprofits. And we designed dozens of them. We got one installed, and it was always financing that was the issue. And so we had a colleague of ours come up to us and say, I've got a lot of tax liability. Is there any way that I can buy a solar system, get the solar tax credits, and then give it to my kids' school? And we looked into that. We took about 12 to 18 months to fully vet this model, and that ultimately became the basis for the Brightwell model. And so I tell that story because it illustrates that we've done this. The Brightwell model really came out of a sense of generosity, and our tagline is unlocking generosity. Our goal as a company is to put $1 billion back into the budgets of nonprofit and tax-exempt entities. And so we've been up and running for about 16 months doing projects. We've done dozens of projects, most of them here in Oklahoma, because that's where we are. And we are laying the groundwork to be here for a long time. We continue to grow, our EPC continues to grow. And so we are now taking this model to as many people as we can talk to, because we feel great about it and want to share the opportunity to really have nonprofits and tax-exempt entities, schools, have a new path to access solar long term.
I would remind the board from one of the things that we talked about in the committee meetings that what this the variables that they have placed in front of us for savings over the life of this project is based on a very conservative escalation of inflation with regard to electrical service. And that is at 3.8%, I believe.
Correct, 3.8%, that's the 20-year national average.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot higher recently, and then you also see the data farms and things that are going in just around us in the state, and the load for electricity that comes with that. In fact, today, Google announced a $600,000 gift to Stillwater Public Schools, but here's the caveat of the strings that were attached to that. It is all of those funds are geared toward reducing their energy costs, so that they can lessen the impact on the grid. But I also would say, as I was reading through all of that, I thought it was very interesting that one of the big focuses they were going to have was an LED retrofit and conversion. Well,
We've already done that.
we did that,
We've already done that.
what, 10 years ago? So, that's the notion that, that because we have historic buildings, we're behind is not necessarily true. That's a misnomer. But I thought that was very interesting that was part of the strings that were attached to their $600,000 gift.
Interesting.
Corey, we're going to be asking, so would you just go over the reason why we're only looking at Guthrie High School, Guthrie Upper Elementary, and Cotterell, and not our other schools?
I imagine we did look at other schools as well, and these three, because of the utility rate, the roof space, the orientation, these three bubble to the top has the most opportunity.
Charter Oak was not considered because they have a different electric provider than the other school sites as well, too, because they have CREC versus OG&E.
Which is not very friendly for schools.
Yeah, but they have their own solar farm, so that's
Interesting.
And the incentives end this year, correctly?
So they change. Yeah, so there's a time frame that we're working with right now. And so after the new year, there are additional requirements that are going to be in place if you want to take advantage of the solar tax credit. It's the FIAC requirements, Foreign Entity of Concerns. And we have not yet received full definition of what those requirements are. There are rumors that this could be a chance for them to twist the screws. So so there's a urgency to safe harbor the project before the new year. And the way in which we would do that is with the district signing the energy management service agreement, we would match it with an investor, and that investor would make a milestone one payment on the project before the new year. And that is sufficient to start the project, which satisfies safe harbor rules and would lock the project into the current tax incentive landscape.
What kind of timeline do you anticipate on starting a project if we approve this tonight?
So if we approved it tonight, we would need 30 to 60 days to match an investor. That's what we just said. So, but obviously before the new year is paramount. With that in place, we would be on average 6 to 8 months out for having the project installed. So we would start the engineering process, followed by permitting, interconnection application with OG&E, and then once we have those two things in place, we can start construction. So the goal would be to get in, spring as early as we can. That way, you all are, the summer is where you're gonna get a lot of production from the system. So getting the system installed in the spring would be great.
As I said, I guess all the installation thing obviously is going to be going on when we've got kids in the building and traffic and all of that, so.
So we have, so if we safe harbor the project before the end of the year, we have until 2029 to do the installation. Not to say anything's going to happen. But I bring that up to say we're flexible too with you all as far as operations, logistics, you know, we want to make it as easy and as simple for you all. So if there are specific school breaks, or if there's, you know, or if we hit like right at the beginning of summer break, like we can work with you all, especially because it's 3 different projects too. So there'll be a lot of sequencing and coordination, but we can work with you all on what, how to best manage the installation while you've got kids in place.
Yeah. Any further questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the agreement with Brightwell Solar for solar energy management for 2025 to 2026.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Agenda item number 12, proposed executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of personnel, FMLA requests. All is set out on the personnel reports, discussion of extra duty assignments for 2025-2026, discussing negotiations concerning employees and representatives employee groups, discussing the employment of Dr. Michael Simpson, superintendent of the schools, and individual salaried employee, disclosure of which information would violate the confidentiality requirements of state and/or federal law, all pursuant to 25 Oklahoma statute, Section 307B, 1, 2, and 7. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Okay, agenda item 12B. This will acknowledge the board's return to open session. Only items in agenda item number 12 were discussed in executive session and no votes were taken. This shall constitute the executive session minutes. Agenda item 13, vote as action is set out on the personnel reports.
Madam President, I make a motion we approve the personnel reports.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 14, action upon recommendation of extra duty assignment is listed for 2025-2026.
Madam President, I move that we approve the extra duty assignments as listed for 2025, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 15, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval for John Harris to be classified as an adjunct teacher for science at Guthrie Upper Elementary.
Madam President, I move that we approve John Harris to be classified as adjunct teacher for science at Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 16, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval for Kyle Carnes to be classified as an adjunct teacher for social studies at Guthrie Upper Elementary School for 2025-2026.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve Kyle Carnes to be classified as an adjunct teacher for social studies at Guthrie Upper Elementary School for 2025-2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 17, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval for Bryce Varble to be classified as an adjunct teacher for science at Guthrie Upper Elementary School for 2025-2026.
Madam President, make a motion to approval for Bryce Varble to be classified as adjunct teacher for science of Guthrie Upper Elementary School for 2025-2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 18, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval for Jeremy Davenport to be classified as an adjunct teacher for both physical education and computer applications at Guthrie High School for 2025-2026.
Madam President, I move that we approve Jeremy Davenport to be classified as adjunct teacher for both physical education and computer applications at Guthrie High School for 2025-2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 19, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval for Alex Fields to be classified as an adjunct teacher for physical education at Guthrie Junior High for 2025-2026.
Madam President, I move that we approve Alex Field to be classified as an adjunct teacher for physical education at Guthrie Junior High for 25-26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item number 20, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval for Parrish Pierce to be classified as an adjunct teacher for English at Guthrie High School for 2025-2026.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve Parrish Pierce to be classified as adjunct teacher for English at Guthrie High School for 2025-2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 21, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval of a stipend for district psychologists, psychometrists, and speech pathologists.
Madam President, I move that we approve a stipend for district psychologist, psychometrist, and speech pathologist.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 22, recommendation, consideration, and action to approve contract to employee Dr. Michael Simpson as superintendent of schools for the 2025-2026, 2026-2027, and 2027-2028 fiscal years.
Madam
Go ahead.
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the contract to employ Dr. Michael Simpson as superintendent of schools for the 2025-2026, 2026-2027, and 2027-2028 fiscal years.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 23, recommendation, consideration, action to accept any resignations offered since the posting of the agenda.
We have none.
Agenda item 24, discussion and possible action on new business not known about or could not have been reasonably foreseen at the time of the agenda posting.
We have none.
Agenda item 25, adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you.